Comparison between the Logitech Brio and the Logitech C922. Let's check it out. Hey guys, what is going on? This is Michael, and this is a camera test between the Logitech Brio and the Logitech C922. You'll be able to see it indicated down here. I'm going to be switching cameras throughout the video, so you can kind of get a little glimpse of what the camera does. But before we get into that, I just wanted to let you guys know, no, I'm not sponsored. All these opinions are my own. I went out and bought both of these myself, and yeah, so I'm not getting paid by Logitech or anything at all. But I do have links down below if you wanted to click on those to check out the prices for either one of them. They're both Amazon links. And yeah, let's get back into the test. So as far as the frame rate, both of them are running at 1080 30 FPS. Now the Brio can get to 1080 at 60 FPS, and it can also do 4K at 30 FPS. The C922 is limited to just the 1080 at 30 frames per second. But I feel like the C922 is actually holding up really, really well. It is older than the Logitech Brio. The Logitech Brio came out, I believe, about 5 years ago, and the C922 before that, but they are actually both holding up really, really well. The lighting conditions, I have obviously everything lit in the front. The back is lit, but not as lit as up here. So it's a little bit tough lighting conditions. I was trying to, go for an artificially darker background. I did go into the Logitech G Hub to try to get both of these looking the same, the filtered, and I cropped them both the same, and it's pretty comparable between the two of them. Now in a little bit I will go up to the 60 frames per second, but I just wanted to show you quickly the zoom as well. So this is the same 1080p 30 frames per second, but now I've just expanded it so that you can see the zoom on both of these guys. And then we want to do a quick little waving test. Now I actually feel like the C922 handles movement better than the Brio does. But let's go ahead and bump the Brio up to 60 frames per second and see if that makes a difference at all. All right, so now the Brio is at 60 frames per second, and you can see it's actually handling it much better. There's really not that much difference between the 30 frames per second on the C922 and the 60 frames per second on the 1080p, which is actually really shocking. But yeah, you move it around. Okay, you can see a little bit more now. Moving it around, I think the Brio handles the movement a little bit better, and then especially when you get into it here, this is, oh, there we go. We're gonna go back to there. This is the Brio camera here, and we're gonna move that guy up. This is the Brio camera here at 60 frames per second. Looks pretty good. We're gonna go ahead and move over to the C922 at 30 frames per second, and yeah, you could tell a difference. So the 60 frames per second definitely helps a bit better. But honestly, the C922 is really not doing that much better. So there's about $100 difference between these two, maybe 150 depending on what time of year you're looking at it and what the prices are going for. But yeah, so the Brio is pretty good. So let's go ahead and get to the 4K capability of the Brio. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Okay, so the Brio is now at 4K 30 frames per second. It doesn't look like my computer can handle that very well, which is weird because I have the maxed out version of the Mac that came out last year. It was an expensive computer, and so it's not really processing 4K that well, which is interesting. Or maybe it's OBS, I don't know, but we'll go ahead and go into, you can see it's 4K because of the patented black marks at the bottom and top, because it's a little bit wider of a frame, so it cuts out from the top. But yeah, so it looks really, really good. Does it look much better than the 1080p? You tell me. This is the C922 again at 1080 frames per second. But yeah, so this is the 4K at 30 frames per second. It looks really, really good, but you guys will have to be able to tell. Now I'm going to go back to the actually original so we can see the 1080p 30 FPS for the Brio camera. All right, so now I'm back at the Brio 1080p 30 FPS, same apples to apples as a C922. One problem I did have with the Brio that I don't know if it's showing up on your guys' screen, but it has been every time I look at it, is if you look in this corner, it's the flicker. I can't get around that flicker. I've been playing around with all the settings so much and I can't get around that flicker. Now, if you look at the C922, I don't believe there is a flicker. So I don't know what the deal is with that. Again, I'm on a Mac. Every now and then I will, as you guys just saw that little jump, every now and then the Brio does have a like little freeze pause or something. So I don't know if that is something with the Brio, the software, or whatever it is, but that is something to be aware of. In any case, do you absolutely need the Brio? I think if you already have a C922, maybe not. Maybe you just save and wait for a DSLR connection. Now, I do have the option to go DSLR. I haven't gone DSLR because I actually really like webcams, and I don't like having to turn on the DSLR and set it up every single time. So I actually prefer webcams. I already have the C922, so I might just stick with the C922. See, like right there, like the Brio just kind of glitched out. So I don't know. But yeah, so I do have the Brio now. I might return it. Now again, this is, I'm not sponsored by Logitech in any way, shape, or form. Wish I was, that'd be cool. But yeah, no, I'm not getting paid for this at all. So these are all my own thoughts and everything. I think if you already have the C922, you just get the Logitech G Hub, and you can edit it, filter it, make it look how you want it to look, and I think it's good for now. I don't think you need to necessarily get up to the Brio. Anyway, I'm sure that's a hot take, but yeah, the C922, I might end up just sticking with that. I do like the 60 frames per second, but again, the 30 frames performs worse on the Brio than it does on the C922, but then when you bump it up to the 60 frames per second, now it's on 60 frames per second and it performs a lot better. A little bit better than the C922 at 30 FPS, which again is probably really shocking. But yeah, so do this right here. Oh, that's I don't have the labels at the bottom. Here, do this right here. And then you do this one right here. But yeah, so anyway, it's a pretty even comparison, I think. Do you need to upgrade? Maybe not, you tell me. But yeah, leave a comment down below. Tell me if you guys think I'm crazy for sticking with the C922. Really interested in your guys' thoughts. But yeah, anyway, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff down below. Also, I have links to both of these products, the C922 and the Brio, down in the description below. Really helps out, and thanks a lot for watching, and see you later. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video, really appreciate it. If you found any of it helpful, please click the like button. Also, down below, I do have links to all the products that I had mentioned. Please click those as well. That really helps out the channel when you do that. And go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, do all the good things. I have more videos along the way and more reviews, so you can feel free to check them out. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, appreciate it, and have a good rest of your guys' day.